What's going on, guys? Back here with another video. I didn't live stream last Sunday, and I didn't make a Wednesday video. Just, quite frankly, wanted to take a little break. But with that being said, as far as the Backlog Summer Challenge goes, we have one more entry to my knowledge. If there's other people joining in, they haven't said anything to me, or I'm not subscribed to them to have found it, but, excuse me. Channel that I've been recently following and watching a lot of his videos, and in his backlog of videos, and just recently, well, not recently, it was probably a good 3 or 4 months ago. I think I met him in CM Retro's stream. CM Retro is probably one of the better guys as far as just exposing or exposure of smaller channels and stuff. I mean, he definitely helped me get some subs. He's one of the good ones, and he helps everybody out a little bit here and there when they're starting up their channel and stuff. But the guy that I'm talking about is Mr. Venegas. Games and Toys, or Toys and Games, I'm not sure the order of that, but he collects a lot of like 80s and 90s like toys, but then he also focuses on games and stuff. He joined in on the Backlog Summer Challenge. I'm going to leave the link in the description for his channel. Really cool guy. He's got some really good videos. He does a lot of really good editing. I mean, honestly, his editing's better than mine. So definitely go show him some love. Give him a subscribe. Pillar of Conflict. He was the first one in the challenge to accept the challenge. He's already done 3 of his games. I think it was Super Mario World, or no, it was Lost Levels. So that's number 2, I guess, the Japanese version. I don't know. What else? I honestly can't remember. But the 3 retro games, I know he's finished it because he's filmed him beating the bosses. So he is in the lead right now. And then the other person that joined was Tylord Stevenson. He's balls deep inside Final Fantasy X2, which is 12, I guess. I don't know the Final Fantasy numbers, but he's pretty far into that. He's already said that. So that's a huge game. I actually really want to play that. I've never even touched X or X2. Oh man, I'm super burpy today, excuse me. So they've released it originally on the PS2, then remastered on PS3 and 4, Vita, PSP might even have one, I have no idea. So I want to play it on one of the systems eventually. I still need to beat Final Fantasy 15, which I got stuck in. I honestly might restart that game eventually. But back to the contest. So he's deep into that. His other games are probably pretty quick pick up and play games that he can beat pretty quickly. And then Emceemur picked one of his 5 games. He's getting into it, but he's a dad and yada yada yada. So all 4 of these channels are great channels. Definitely go check them out. Honestly, a lot of their editing skills are even better than mine. So definitely good content that they put out. And Emceemur, he's really good at a schedule. Like he constantly has content coming out, and that really is key. And I've been kind of fucking up on that myself. Fortunately enough, my channel is still growing here and there. I'm at about 320 right now, so I appreciate all of your faces very much. Stole that from Philip DeFranco. But yeah, so he picked the 1 out of his 5. He said he's going to pick the other 4 eventually. I don't think he's actually made a video on his number 1 yet, and I actually don't even remember what it is, to be honest with you. But so he picked that, and as far as where I've been in the time that I guess it's been about a week since my Sunday video, which was Wii U ports I'd like to see on the Switch. Check that video out, it's a pretty good video. So I ended up deciding to finally beef up this bad boy right here, like I've said I've been wanting to do for a while. So I had Windows 8.1, which the disk's over there, and then they had a free upgrade to 10. I don't want to show you my serial number, so I'm not going to flip this around. But this is my Windows 10 disk. So I bought Windows 10. Actually bought it, didn't steal it. And as far as editing purposes go, I'm pretty excited to have this because on my older iteration of this rig, I had a 180 gigabyte SSD as my boot drive, which is where my Sony Vegas was, plus a few PC games that I play a lot. So there was really only about 60 gigs worth of room to edit, Photoshop, and do bunches of videos. But now I have a 500 gigabyte M.2 drive. So the Intel drive that I had was about 300 to 500-ish megabytes per second. This is 3.2 gigabytes per second read, and the write is 2.8 gigabytes per second. So basically I can edit and render a video with this other component really fast. So I'm like very excited, and so that's one of the PC parts. The next one, yes, I know, go ahead and give me some hate on it. I don't care if you're a PC gamer and, oh, you didn't build a custom water loop. I wanted to. I have the ability and the knowledge to do it. It's just, you know, I just don't have the time to do it. It's a very time-consuming thing. So I went for the next best thing. I had an air cooler. I wanted to go to liquid cooling so I could increase my overclock a little bit on my CPU. I got the H100i V2, which has got the Corsair link and the RGB lighting. Pretty good. I really don't know if any of my subscribers are PC gamers, but if you are, you obviously know what most of these things are. You know, this isn't like the best of the best, but it's definitely a good cooler to have on your CPU. I have the 6700K Intel i7. It runs at 4.0 gigahertz stock, and I have it at 4.6 now. So I got, you know, a nice little 0.6. It's about 15% of, not free because I had to pay for this, but this was like 120 bucks. So I got 15% more horsepower out of my processor for $120-ish. Pretty good deal in my opinion. I did push-pull on it with the SP120 fans, so it's like the ones that are designed for the radiators. So pretty cool with this. I like this. I had the H100i original for a long time till that blew up on me. That was before I even started the channel. But the CPU actual block is huge on this thing. The damn thing's got to be that big. It's ridiculous. Compared to the old one, which was like a yay big, this one's like huge. So I wasn't expecting that when I opened the box, but definitely a nice product. Pretty cool stuff. Now, I'm going to cover that up because I feel pretty ashamed of how much I spent on this, but this is the best gaming graphics card money can buy. Yeah, this is the GeForce GTX 1080 Strix OC gaming card, blah, 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 blah. So I had initially, in my old build, I upgraded from a GTX 780 Ti classified. So I got this the year it came out. I want to say it was 2013. So I got 4 good years out of this bad boy. It's still a really good card. It just doesn't support DirectX 12. It's got a 3 gigabyte frame buffer on it, whereas this has 11. And yes, I am still gaming on 1080p and editing. I am going to get a new monitor eventually. The one that I want from Asus isn't out yet, so I'm still waiting. But this is a 120 frames per second monitor, which is the way I like to play my games. So this just wasn't quite reaching the frame rates I wanted it to. It was still maxing out every game, but it wasn't reaching the frame rates that I like. I like to play at like 75 to 90, if not more if possible, because it really truly is smoother. And if you're a console gamer, I'm not harshing on it because clearly I am too, but you don't really understand how important frame rate is in like an FPS or an RTS, because consoles are generally locked at 30 for the most part. But so this, finally upgrading that. I might honestly keep this as a dedicated PhysX card just for the lulz of it. Could be kind of funny to do that. Kind of useless, kind of pointless really, because this card, when I've used it, so far what have I played? I played The Witcher 3 on obviously ultra maxed out 4K DSR, because you can get the GPU to render out 4K and then shrink it down to 1080p is basically what DSR is. So it still looks super crisp. It's not as good as 4K, but it's basically squishing 4K onto the 1080p. And that's still only using 3 gigs, but it's using all the CUDA cores that this has, whereas this has 2,880 CUDA cores. This has 3,594, I think, something like that. But it's a different architecture, so it's different. But basically, this is 11.3 teraflops of power, so this is almost twice the Xbox Scorpio. And this was, I think, 5.2, so this is in between the Scorpio and the PS4 Pro. But so I got this, and this comes with the Aura Sync lighting. And the motherboard, I had this, I didn't buy this as well, but the motherboard that I've had is the Asus Maximus Formula 8, and where does it say it on here? So it does support the Aura lighting, it says it right there. but doesn't support the Aura Sync lighting. So now, and it's really just kind of an annoyance thing, because I kind of thought they would all mesh together, and since they're all Asus ROG products, but of course this is a few years older, so they're not going to put out new updates and drivers for it. It is what it is. But so now I have lighting on my motherboard and my graphics card, which is cool, and my Corsair mouse and my Corsair water pump. But now, ooh, it's a good thing I have this nice refreshing Coca-Cola to enjoy during my video. Alright, so I kind of wanted it to be working as one unit like it should have been. It would have been nice if I had known this didn't work with the sync Aura, and it has its own Aura and that has its own Aura, but there's no syncing between them because this is a few years old. So it is what it is. But so that's where I've been as far as doing that, and then I had to upgrade all the processor, you know, not upgrade it, but put the Windows on it, download all the drivers, put the OS on it. It took quite a while, but here's the part of the video that you guys probably actually want to see, and that is the pickups for this month. Today's 22, I think, or 23. Yes, Splatoon was yesterday, so today's 22. So here's going to be the pickups. I'm going to cut away for a second and grab them. Alright, so you can no doubtably see that I have my Splatoon amiibos set up right here. I absolutely love Splatoon. It's probably one of the greater newer IPs in the last, I don't know, 2 generations, maybe 3 generations. It's just a blast to play. You can't really, I mean, you can watch somebody play it and see that it's fun, but like when you truly play it, it's just such a blast. Like the motions are just smooth and buttery, and it's just such a good game. But so obviously I got some amiibos here. Picked these up. Got the Ink Girl, the new Ink Boy, the purple one, which I think this looks way more badass because it's like swooshing out than the original one, which is the same as the orange one from the second Splatoon pack. So this is technically the 3rd wave of Splatoon figures. They all still have the same bases though, just blank black bases. So one thing that did piss me off, and let me know if this has ever happened to any of you, this amiibo figure now no longer works. It's not beat up in any way. I mean, I kept good care of them, all of them. I mean, I think I'm missing 6 of the entire set of all the amiibos. And that's the next thing I'm actively hunting down. More on that later. But this doesn't work anymore, and I'm really pissed about it. I assume they don't like offer warranties on these because they're like $12, but I literally used it maybe 3 or 4 times and like just doesn't even work anymore. Like, what the fuck? So hopefully this won't be a problem where amiibos just start to die out. Like, I don't know if the build quality is terrible on the RFID chip. I really don't know, but I'd feel really silly if I invested all that money into these if you're going to have to rebuy them every couple of years. I mean, sure, they look cool on the shelf, which whenever I do finally get my own house, like, I'm literally going to line the game room around the top with like nice probably RGB lighting, and just have like all of them just like set up around the top. Of course in my game room, not in the actual house. But so got these 3 amiibos. Goes along with something else, which you can probably already figure out. And then I didn't go buck wild on the amiibos yet. These are all just the player 1 versions of Cloud Strife, Bayonetta, and Corrin. So this is the female Corrin. I honestly, this is the Bayonetta that I like more. This is the Corrin that I like more, but I kind of prefer the black Cloud Strife more as far as looks. I mean, this one's cool, but these are actually really, these are probably some of the more detailed ones. As far as like Bayonetta, like, is that paint? I mean, it has to be painted on there. Like, I don't know how well that's going to pick up on the camera, but like, she has like a lot of like gold trimming paint on her. Ooh, my ass. And just the guns have like a lot of paint on them. I mean, I doubt these are, there's no way these are hand painted. There's no way. But Definitely good quality though. I mean, Cloud looks really good as well. But yeah, so those were the amiibo pickups. Let's see here. Hid this over here for a second. So I've really been getting back into the Wii U, or the Switch, sorry. That wasn't even intentional. But so the Switch, I've really been getting back into it. You know, for the longest time, all I had was Bomberman, Zelda, and, you know, a few other games here and there. But it's getting to the point where the good games are coming out. And obviously, if you're a gamer, you know that this came out. I'm playing the crap out of this. I played this, I think, for 6 hours straight yesterday. Like, no joke. Like, didn't eat, didn't pee. Yeah, it was kind of bad. I'm already level 9. I know that's not the highest level in the game, guys, but I'm having a blast playing this. I truly am. If you don't own a Switch, go buy that and go buy this game today. And if you do own a Switch and you don't own this, what the fuck are you doing? This game is so fun. Like, I can't even explain it. I wish I could do videos on this, but Nintendo will strike me down. But it's just such a good game. I love playing this game. It's so simplistic. I actually brought it over to my nephew's house the other day, or yesterday, the day it launched. And of course, he's super big. He's 7 now. He's super big into YouTube, and he watches. I don't know who all those guys. I watch people in the collecting community, and that's basically it. And then Mighty Car Mods and stuff like that. But I don't know a lot of, like, I mean, obviously I know about PewDiePie, but I don't know all the other guys that are like him that make, I don't know, weird videos to me. But he's 7, so he likes them. But so apparently he was watching some Splatoon videos, and he was really excited to play it. So I brought it over, and he was having a blast with it. And he was doing good. Like, I didn't even have to teach him the controls, and he doesn't even, like, he plays games. He's got a 2DS and he's got a 360. Plays Minecraft a lot, but, like, I didn't even have to really teach him the controls very much, and he just kind of grasped it and picked it up. So, like, if a 7-year-old can pick it up, and, like, anybody can pick it up and play it, it's just such a good game. I can't even recommend it enough. But so pick that up. Got this as well. Oh yeah, there's one more. Oh, it's up there. All right, so I'm gonna have to grab that one down. Got the Splatoon 2 controller. Here it is, right here. Really cool. I'm happy to have grabbed this. I put these nice little grippy guys I got on here. I got these from the Wish app. I got 12 sets of these for $1, and then another $1 for shipping from China. Granted, it took a month for them to come, but they're really nice. So that's the Wish app on Android is what I have it on, but it's probably on iPhone too. But so that's really sweet, and I love these little things. I have them on all my controllers: PS4, Xbox One, PS3, 360, and that's pretty much it. But super nice. Love this controller. It's sexy. I'm keeping the box because it looks awesome. So there's that. And then let me grab this one out of here. I forgot to. Yeah, I picked this up the other day as well. I believe. I don't think this has been in any of my videos yet. So like I said, I've really been getting into the Switch again. I picked up this one as well. Emceemur did a live stream, I believe, of this, and also was playing it the other day when he got it, and he did an unboxing, and I didn't want to miss out on these stupid keychains, so I went and got the box for it. That's Pew Pew Tetris, I'm sorry, Puyo Puyo Tetris, and it's a fun game. I got it on sale, so it was $30 with my GCU discount. It ended up being like $24, so pretty cool. Fun little, you know, if you got to go to bed and you just kind of want to play something for 10 minutes, this is a good game for that. If you can get it for $25 or less, I'd say it's worth it. It really is. Graphics are good for Tetris, but cool game. And then the last Wii U, or Switch game, dude, I keep saying Wii U. So the last Switch game that I picked up is Cave Story Plus. Really cool game as well. Metroidvania. Metroid is one of my favorite series of all time. Metroid Prime probably is my second favorite game next to Donkey Kong Country. And so this came with a GameCube disc. No, it looks like it though. So this is actually a mini compact CD. So, but it is literally the same size as a GameCube disc. So that's kind of cool. This is in the launch edition. I have confirmation of that. I forget where I read it. So if you want to get that and the manual for Cave Story, you need to do it soon. Because eventually they're going to stop being in the game. If according to what I read is true. But this has like a nice... I guess this is actually a story. Oh, it has like a little bit of the backstory in the beginning of there. But it's got like nice artwork and stuff. I really wish... I mean, you could see that... I don't even know how to say their name, but... Nicalis, I guess. They also did Binding of Isaac. You can see that they're really trying to push manuals back. And, you know, even if it's just for the launch editions, I'm cool with that because that encourages me to actually want to pre-order your game and buy it. If you want to put a manual in there with, like, nice colored pictures, then by all means, I'm pre-ordering and I'm buying that. If it's a worthy game like this, which it is. This is a beautiful game. It's like 16-bit graphics, Cave Story. Really cool game. Puyo Puyo Tetris, Cave Story, Splatoon. That's kind of what I've been Wii U and... Or, again, switching lately. It's kind of hard not to because they're almost really the same thing, except for you putting the gamepad into the system, making it the system. But a lot of the times I don't really pick up retro games. So like, do I even retro, bro? I do, and I actually picked both these up at my local new flea market that I'm going to be going to. And I paid a pretty good price for these. Got Rocket Robot on Wheels for the 64. Already put my nice little labels on it. So pretty pumped to play this. This is a pretty uncommon game as far as I know. I've never seen it. It's not rare by any means, but it's definitely more of a sought after game because it is on the uncommon side. So it's like a $20 to $30 title. But it's the first time I've ever seen it, so I had to nab it up. And it's in pretty good shape. The back's in good shape. And this one, whew, I got a deal on this. So the label is in okay shape. I'd say it's like a 7 out of 10. There's a little bit of scuffing on it, but I've wanted this game for far too long to not... I couldn't pass it up on the price. So that's Contra 1. It is real. Both these are real boards. I cleaned them up already. I paid $30 for this. It's about a $50 title. So I wasn't going to back away from that. I've actually been keeping it in my... I only have one of these, but I've been keeping it in here just because like, I've been wanting to play this game for so long. So I just kind of leave that on top of my NES and put it in here and there and play it 10-15 minutes. So we got that. Let's see here. We got 3 PS4 games. Let me... One second, guys. Alright, so on to the PS4 pickups. So GameStop was doing a really good deal the other day, or I guess it was the 4th of July weekend. And to be honest with you, I feel like I might have put this in a video, but I can't remember. So this, I've been waiting a long time to get. It's typically a $60 title, but I got it for $20 at GameStop. And that's Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. I have this on PC, and I don't actually have the Reapers of Soul on PC. So I've been wanting to get this as a physical copy. I believe this to be one of those PS4 games where 10 years from now you can fully play the game off of the disc. And yes, there are patches that go to this now, but I believe that you can play this game fully off the disc with the Reapers of Soul patch, or DLC, whatever you want to call it, expansion pack, just straight off the disc. So that's really awesome. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case with this. It's like actually on the disc, the Reapers of Soul expansion. So that's really cool. I picked up this with the Puyo Puyo Tetris at the Best Buy, so I got this for $32.99 or something like that. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. This game is beautiful too. Really fun. I never had the old games when I was younger. I never had a PlayStation 1. I just recently picked up 2 and 3, and I have Crash Team Racing as well. Haven't really gotten a chance to play those yet. Then I knew this was coming out, so I mean, this is kind of the superior version. So unless you're like a diehard, oh, it's got to be played on original hardware kind of guy. But this is definitely a really cool game. I can't recommend it enough. My one gripe with it, though, Vicarious Games, if you somehow watch this video, get rid of the fucking intro scene that you have to watch every time you play the game. Every time you get in. This got like this conveyor belt, and Crash is doing his thing, and it like converts the graphics. It's cool. Occasionally I'd like to watch it, but I don't want to watch it every time I want to play the game. Like, really, dude, it's annoying. So yeah, that shit pisses me off. Now this is a limited game, not limited run, but a limited edition game from East Asia Soft, and that is Alchemic Jousts for the PS4. So this, I don't even know how to describe this. If I had more time and didn't want to get this out on Sunday, or if I had, recorded this ahead of time, I would have gotten some gameplay for this one specifically because I want to say there's 2,000 copies in this world, in the world, so you're probably not going to get one now. Not exactly why I was collecting this, because I doubt this will ever be that rare. I mean, it's rare because there are no copies of it, but it's not going to be rare like, I can't even think of a title off the top of my head, but it's not going to be like in huge demand because it just looks like kind of a niche title. But it looks kind of cool though, nonetheless. I haven't actually had a chance to try it yet because there's quite a big stack of games here that I have been playing. But I don't know how well that artwork can show up with the screenshots. But go ahead and look up some gameplay for this. I got number 1017 of that. So I've got quite a few of these East Asia Soft games now. Alright, so this one. Now we're getting into Xbox pickups. Actually, I'm going to start with this big one. I got duped on eBay, and I feel really kind of stupid about it. There's actually two mess ups in here that really go against the way I collect games. This being one of them. I don't know how well this is going to show up in the video, but a long time ago I picked up Silent Scope for the original Xbox. I've needed the gun. Nico picked it up one time when we were at Hagerstown, Maryland, up at that 2nd and Charles. This is the gigantic controller for it. From the front of the box, you don't think it looks too bad. And then you notice these two stickers here. They're under an actual piece of tape. I fucked up. I didn't see that in the pictures. But the guy was slick about it and didn't take sideways pictures of it. So that's how the side of the box is. And the back of the box is in pretty good shape. This side isn't terrible. So basically it's just the front and that side. And then the sticker's ripped here. It is what it is. I actually emailed PayPal, or I called PayPal rather. And hopefully they're going to be getting me a refund, or I might have to return it. I don't know. Here's the inside of the box. The box is so big. That's all screwed up. I haven't obviously tested it because you got to test it on a CRT, which I don't have with me to test. It's still in my parents' basement. So yeah, can't even test that, even if I wanted to. Nico does have a CRT TV at his house though, so maybe I'll have to bring it over there and test it. But overall, I'm not really happy about it. I don't know if this is necessarily my fault to blame, that I didn't look at it or read the description well enough, or this or that, but either way, I feel kind of duped, so I called eBay. The reason I feel duped is the dude wrapped this in grocery paper bags. Paid $18 for shipping on this. So, let alone, I can just throw this box away because it looks like shit. And it doesn't need to be in my collection. I might even just donate it to a game store, that guy at the flea market, just so he can have it as a nice display piece. And keep the gun. But I didn't pay $18 of shipping so that you could wrap it in grocery bags and put tape on it. That is a little ridiculous. So I called PayPal. At the very least, I'm getting my shipping money back for that, because I'm just pissed about this whole scenario with this gun. I just not feeling it. Alright, so on to the Xbox pickups. Like I said, there's a few mess ups in here of things that I messed up on eBay. This is not one of them. This is actually my legendary pick of the week. Well, actually the month, really. So, this is a sealed copy of Halo Triple Pack. It is still sealed. I paid $42 shipped to my house for this. It's in relatively good shape. There is one corner that's messed up right there. The bottom flap is unfortunately becoming unglued. I can fix that though. There is a sealed one on there right now going for $200. I paid $42 for this. So, I feel pretty good about that. I'm not going to ever get rid of it. The main reason I got that is because this has the Halo 2 multiplayer map pack, and it just looks badass. I needed that disc in case, and I don't know if that actually has a manual in it, for the complete Xbox set. But now I have it inside of here, and this just looks badass, so that's what I got. This game is one of the mess-ups from eBay on the exclusive list because I already have this game, and I made the mistake of buying it again. So what's cool though is the disc is pretty rough on it, but I did test it and it does work. And the guy, I guess he knew that, so he sent me another game inside of here, which is kind of cool. So Kingdom Under Fire, oh, this game's Far Cry Instincts Evolution. This is literally, I probably played this game more than Halo 1 and Halo 2 on the Xbox. Such a good game. Expect a review for this. I'm literally working on that right now as well. So yeah, I love this. This is probably one of my favorite shooters of all time. No one talks about this Far Cry. No one talks about it. This is kind of like the bastard child, but in my opinion, I think it's the best Far Cry there ever was. Because I've played every single one of them, except for Primal. I do have it. I am going to play it eventually, but I've played 1 through 4 and this one, because this is really like Far Cry 1, but it's Far Cry 1 for the original Xbox. It's a completely different game, but whatever. So this will be going into the giveaway pot that I have growing of games. I missed the 300 mark giveaway. Didn't make a video in time for that. So I think I'm just going to do it at 350, which is about 30 more subs away. So hopefully by then, the pot's going to get a little bit bigger and sweeter. And it's not going to just be Xbox games. It's just going to be a bunch of random games that I might have dupes of, or I might even just buy a nice new game. I don't know. I haven't figured out what I want to do yet, but I do want to give back to the community for staying subscribed and stuff. Now, this next one, this is a doozy of a story here. This is Pro Fishing Challenge by Atlas. I'm going to go on record by saying this is a pretty uncommon to rare original Xbox exclusive. This took me a while to track down and find. Every time I'd find a copy, which is I've only seen this in the wild 4 times over this last year to 2 years that me and Nico have been actively collecting for the Xbox. So not very many times. He's maybe seen it 4 times himself, give or take. So under a dozen times we've seen this in the wild. That's pretty uncommon. I think there's like 4 or 5 of them on eBay right now. So it's definitely uncommon, and this is kind of a known thing. It typically goes for $20 to $40. So I got that. The disc itself, not a scratch on it. Well, there's a couple scratches on it, but right there. I hope you guys can see all those cracks on it. I'm fucking pissed about that. No mention of that in the ad on eBay. He listed it as very good, which yes, the disc itself is very good, but I can't be having that in my collection. I just can't. So at the flea market, actually it's over that way, he has a copy of this, so I'm going to buy that, switch the disc, then take this to a game store and just flip it. I can't really be mad at this guy though, because I paid a fair price for it, and he actually threw in some goodies. I don't even know if this can be like found anymore on the internet. I haven't really looked yet, but this is actually really cool, and I love getting stuff like this inside game cases. These are actually maps of some of the fishing places that he printed out, I guess, back in 3/20/2005 and 3/19/2005, 3/27/2005, and then this one, this has actually a bunch of writing on it, 3/20/2005. So this dude was going hammer time with this game. He must have really enjoyed it. So, I left him positive feedback because, I don't know, he might not be a collector, so he might not see that as a problem. So it's in relatively good shape, and he threw in these maps. But here's the kicker of the video. This is very rare, this next thing that I'm going to show you that goes with that game. They have one for Dreamcast. It's well known, and you can buy a brand new one still for under $30 for the Dreamcast. This I know nothing about. I can't find any information on it on Google, Yahoo, YouTube, anywhere. So I don't know if this is like a one-off prototype or what, but this is a fishing rod for the original Xbox. And you can tell that by the white and black buttons and by the memory card slot and the controller port. So this is probably pretty rare. I cannot find it any information less on eBay or in the internet, period. No information on it, period. I do need to, I don't know if it's so crunchy. I need to take it apart. It does work, but it is kind of gross and nasty, but whatever. There's literally only one of these on the internet, and I bought it. Alright, so now we're getting into these next couple. This was not on the list for the longest time. Me and Nico, well, actually Nico figured it out, I believe. And that is Jaeger for the original Xbox. This is actually a factory sealed copy. I'm not going to open this until I have actual time to commit to beating this game. It's not really terribly rare, but this is a game I foresee becoming more collectible in the future. So I do want to play it because it actually looks badass. I want to say it's almost kind of like Crimson Skies, which is also another fantastic exclusive for the original Xbox. But it's by Kemco, so they're a pretty older company. I don't think they even exist anymore, to be honest. But yeah, I'm actually really excited to play this. But like I said, I'm not going to open it until I have dedicated time in my gaming schedule to play and beat it. This is also another very rare to uncommon title, as this is the only time I've ever seen it in the wild myself out of the year or two that I've been really hardcore collecting for the original Xbox. It doesn't say only on Xbox, but I assure you this is an exclusive only on the Xbox, not even on the PC. That is Virtual Pool Tournament Edition. Complete in box, minty disc. Got this for $10, I believe. That's about the going rate on eBay, but I wanted to find it in the wild. I'm going to go ahead and say this is one of the top 30 rarest games for the original Xbox, and I am going to make a specific video on the actual rarest games from the hunt of collecting these games. And I mean, you know, we've probably gone to a good 3 dozen game stores throughout the Delmarva area. So I mean, it's not like we're just hunting at 2 stores. Like, we go hunting all over the place. Yard sales, garage sales. Sometimes we don't actually film those, but you know, we hunt a lot of places. And like, if I'm telling you something's rare, it's because I truly believe it to be rare. If I say it's uncommon, then it means I see it, but seldomly do I see it. But if I say it's rare, I think it's rare. So this is rare. Here's another title that you don't see a lot. There is a version of this on the Wii itself. All these are complete in box, obviously. I'm that guy. I'm that guy. I can't not have complete games. Monster 4x4 World Circuit does actually say only on Xbox. This was one of the last nitty and gritty games I needed to get on the list. Cool game. This is cheap. You can get this for like I think I paid $3.50 for this, and like $1 for shipping. Cool game. I believe there is a version of this on the Wii, like I said. That would actually probably be pretty fun on the Wii, because you could probably, I guess, drive like this maybe. I don't know. But probably be pretty cool on the Wii. Now, here's another mistake that I made on eBay. I feel really stupid about this. Nico is on the hunt for... Oh, no fucking way. Okay. So Nico's on the hunt for a manual for me. And by the hunt, I mean 5-finger discounting it for me. Samurai Showdown 5. I accidentally bought this. The disc is minty as hell, but I bought it without a manual. I am watching one on eBay right now, so I might buy that one, and this might actually just go into the giveaway jackpot pile. It's actually a really badass fighting game. It's really gory and just really cool. It's SNK, so this was, I think the first 3 were on the Neo Geo AES, maybe the 4th one too. I don't know. I really don't know much about Neo Geo stuff. I wish I did, but That shit's expensive to collect for. But Samurai Showdown 5 might go into the jackpot pile if I buy that other one. Another title that definitely says only on Xbox on it. This has a big-ass manual in it, too. This is probably one of the last few games Atari released, period, but the last game they released on the original Xbox for sure. That's Transworld Snowboarding. Really, I haven't tried this yet. I think I remember playing this somewhere in my childhood. It could be good, I have no idea. But this was at a time where snowboarding games were king, and they were making Tony Hawk games all the time and stuff. I kind of missed that era. I just missed the 6th generation era of gaming. Like, it just had a broad genre of games. You had great RPGs still coming out. You had, good sports games coming out that people actually wanted to play. You had unique stuff like Pikmin coming out and just other stuff like that. The 6th generation to me is just, that was the pinnacle of gaming. 7th gen was still pretty good. 8th gen, kind of just a letdown, and it's kind of why I built the PC. There's no point of even collecting 8th gen games for the PS4 or Xbox One anymore. I think between the 60 to 70 Xbox One PS4 games that I have, maybe 5 of them can be played straight off the disc and don't need updates. There's literally no reason to collect any of those games if they're going to need updates in the future. Like, all these games can be played straight off the disc. You really can't say that for maybe more than a dozen games for the PS4 and or Xbox One. So to be honest with you, I might just current gen full on switch to the Switch, and for multiplatch just go to PC gaming. I mean, I got the best graphics card you can get now. All these games are digital anyway. You have the disc, but it's really just a DRM. It's not even really like the game is there, but it's just downloading it basically. So like, it's not even, I don't know. I'm really just kind of frustrated with current generation gaming. Gaming's just never going to be the same anymore, and it's really just disappointing. I mean, if you guys want me to make a dedicated video to that, I always say I'm going to, but I've never done it because it would just be a long and very pissed off and frustrated video about how I hate current generation games. There's a few more games here. Here's another one that I recently found out was exclusive to the Xbox. Doesn't say it on the case as well. Didn't come out for anything else, but it definitely is exclusive. Championship Bowling. Don't know much about this except for it's a cartoony bowling game. And it's an exclusive for the original Xbox. This one does say that it is an exclusive. It's a pretty cool game. I need to get a better case for this, but overall this is pretty good for the price that I paid for it. I think I paid like $6 for this. Complete. Furious Karting by Atari as well for the Xbox. Really badass game. It's cool. It's kind of like Road Rash meets Mario Kart. So you've got like baseball bats and other stuff like that, and there's lots of alleyways and secret shortcuts and stuff. It's a really good game, and it's super cheap. Definitely recommend this, whether you're going for the exclusive set or if you just want a fun original Xbox game. I'm pretty sure this is backwards compatible with 360 as well. Oh snap. I was crushing the manual there. So a few more here. This one Nico definitely found on his own, and I'm glad he did because this is a pretty rare game as well. And I'm glad he did before it, shot up too high in value. This thing has a huge manual in it too. This is a very mint copy of it. Like, it even has the registration guide and everything. This is Painkiller Hell Wars. So this is kind of just like a run and gun game, like Serious Sam, which are really fun games. It might even honestly be on the same engine. It might even honestly be part of the same universe as Serious Sam. I have no idea. Haven't played it yet, but the graphics look really good. Like, to this day, these still look really good, to be honest with you. Alright, so this was in the collection at one point in time. This case is not in the greatest shape, but it is complete. This did eventually go to the PS2 in America, but it started out as an original Xbox exclusive, and that's SVC versus Capcom. So it was exclusive, and I originally bought this, and it just like the Pro Cast Fishing, it had a bunch of cracks there. I actually ended up selling it to a game store in the same chain that I bought it from, but different location. for relatively about the same price I paid for it, but this is a minty copy. I'm glad to add this back into the collection. So I got this with Street Fighter Anniversary Collection, also complete in condition, very good condition. These cases are a little rough, but the inserts and everything are still good. I only paid $30 shipped for this, free shipping, so 15 each for these. Very good price. This is a pretty pricey game, and so is this for the original Xbox. Very good deal. So this has Street Fighter 2, or Hyper Street Fighter 2, and then Street Fighter the Third Strike, which I actually have that one on the Dreamcast. But it'd be nice to play it on the original Xbox, because it probably looks a little bit better. Full-length feature film of Street Fighter 2 animated movie. Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever seen that. I'm actually really getting into the Street Fighter series a little bit here lately, because I have Street Fighter Alpha, or Street Fighter 2 Alpha, I believe it's called. Been playing that on my Saturn a little bit here and there. Alright, so we're down to the last three here. This one definitely needs a new case, but Greg's Hastings Tournament Paintball. It does actually say only for Xbox. Cool game, actually. They did make a sequel to this, and that came out on the Wii too as well. That would probably be a really fun Wii game. Backstory, I actually used to paintball, not like a lot, but I actually still have my gun. It's up in my parents' attic, I believe. Paintballing's fun. The game, pretty cool. Cheap too. This actually had online multiplayer and everything too, with like leaderboards and everything. So this probably was really fun back in the day. Save that one for last, because that's a doozy of a pickup. Can't believe I bought that again. So this is not exclusive, but I've been wanting this for a long time. Like I remember wanting this back in the day when it launched, and that's Destroy All Humans 2. So I actually still need to find the first one, and then there's Path of Fusion or something for the 360 and the PS3. There's one for the 7th gen, and then I think there's an exclusive Wii one as well, which I wouldn't mind tracking down. So I still need to find the first one, and then all the other sequels after that. These are cool games. The graphics actually really still stick up to this day. And this, of course, is by one of my favorite developers of all time, Pandemic. Those are the original Battlefront guys, and then also the Destroy All Humans guys. So yeah, this actually supports the 480p, so that's why the graphics still hold up to this day, because you can, with the FrameMeister, stretch it out to 1080p, and it's beautiful. So there's that. This is a huge pickup video. This is probably one of the bigger pickup videos I've done in a while. Give me one sec. I got to get this last game and do it justice, because it's finally added back into the collection. Alright, so if you've been subscribed long enough, you'd know that this was in my collection at one point in time, and I paid a pretty good price for it, but still a fair price. And then I really wanted to play it, and then I couldn't. Then I took it with me on a huge adventure with Nico to get the game disc resurfaced, and I forgot the disc but brought the case and manual. Then I forgot it a second time when I went out on my own to get it fixed. So I did get it fixed eventually and buffed out with it was like a $3,000 buffing disc machine. It didn't fix the problem. The game would only work on 360 and not on the original Xbox, even though it's an original Xbox game. So that's kind of ass backwards. So recently, I follow Metal Jesus on Twitter, so I can keep up with the things he's picking up ahead of time before they skyrocket in value. If it's something that I'm interested in, I recommend you do that, because pretty much as soon as he makes a video about a game, the price is going to shoot up. I mean, he's not doing it intentionally. He's making the videos just the same as I am because he loves what he does. And I don't hold that against him or RGT85 or any of those people. I really don't. We only make these videos to give out the knowledge and share things. I have a smaller sub base, but I help you guys out with. N64 is going to shoot up in value within the next couple years. So is the original Xbox. It's going to happen. I'm telling you that now. I've been collecting long enough to see these things coming. It will happen. I promise you that. That's why I've bulked up my 64 collection. I've gotten all the Xbox games that I want at this point in time. There's not a single game that I want on the original Xbox anymore, because I already have it. Aside from Destroy All Humans 1, but I think that's literally one of the last games that I want for the original Xbox. But, so this game is often thought to be the rarest game on the original Xbox, and I'm very glad to finally have it again. And the label is not the insert's not the greatest, and I'm kind of pissed about that. But again, I paid $90 shipped for this off eBay, so not a terrible price. It's honestly under the going rate. But like I said, Metal Jesus posted a picture that he got it for the Xbox, so there's only like 8 of them on eBay. So I was like, I gotta pull the trigger on this before he makes a video about it, because then it's gonna be $200. And at that point, I wouldn't buy it because it's not an exclusive, but I do want it in my collection because it's a badass game. That's Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, CIB, flawless disc. I had to jump on this one. Manual's in great shape, even has the registration card, so that's pretty cool. Not that I really care that much about it. Hulk, summer 2003, because it's made by, or it's published by Universal Interactive. Wow, that makes this really old then, because 2002 this came out. This game. So fond memories of mine. My childhood best friend, this was like his favorite game. This was his shit. He loved this game. And he had it on PS2, and he bought it 3 separate times on PS2. It's still pretty rare on PS2, but it's about a $50 title on PS2, just because the PS2 had a bigger user base, so they made more copies. But definitely rare on the Xbox, about a $100 title. So he bought it on 3 separate occasions, and he would always somehow, he would track it down all the way till about 2009. He still tracked it down at a cheap price at like a GameStop or something for the PS2. And, he was always buying it and trading it and buying it and trading it, but I would never play it. And I would always watch him play it for 5 seconds, be like, this game looks stupid, and then I'd leave. And then come to find out that, like, this game is fucking badass. It's basically SimCity meets Jurassic Park, really. I mean, you build like a little park. It's pretty cool. It's got like a random level generator that starts out, and they're not really random. I think they're kind of preset, but there's a lot of them, and it's definitely badass. I haven't really sunk that much time into it yet, but I do plan to in the near future. So I'm glad to have gotten this before the price hike goes into effect. And I hate to pin it on Metal Jesus, but like it happens every time they show something. It really does. Like, I mean, look at I think it's called Ill Blood or Ill Bleed for the Dreamcast. It was like a $20 title. One of my subscribers actually messaged me to tell me about this. I forget who it was, but he was just saying like, oh man, I remember that game being $20, and then as soon as Metal Jesus talked about it, it was like a $90 title for the Dreamcast. So believe it or not, that was actually the next goal of mine, was to go for a complete Dreamcast set, because I really do love the Dreamcast. But as far as space-wise goes, it's a very accessible system to collect for, much like the PS1, because they only take up about this much space and that much. So it's a good system to collect for if space is an issue for you. Plus, it's a fun system. I honestly don't know what I'm going to collect for. The original Xbox set is done. I'm proud to have said that. Me and Nico are checking the list twice, just to make sure. I don't want somebody to be like, oh dude, you missed such and such game, blah 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 blah. I only care about it being a North American exclusive. I live in North America. If it came out in Japan, that's cool. I can't read that. Oh boy, I almost killed Cloud. I can't read the Japanese stuff. I can't read the German games. I can't read the African games. So I'm not concerned about those. I only care about it if it came out, Canada, America, or Mexico. Because, I can understand Spanish and I can read English, obviously, fluently. So if it didn't come out in any of those 3 countries, I don't really care. It's not part of the exclusive North American set. So expect some more videos to be coming soon. I finally alphabetized them, except for these need to get put into the alphabetized order. That is how I'm going to do the videos. I'll probably do A, B, C, D, E, F, H, I, J, K, so forth. And that's how I'm going to do them. Periodically, there's just going to be like, I have a lot of stuff planned for this stuff. I really do. It's just, time is not on my side now. The place that I'm renting, the reason I'm getting it for such a cheap deal is because me and my roommate are refurbishing the home. We've painted all the rooms. Just today I was painting the closet. I probably might even have paint in my hair still in the bathroom. He was painting the basement, and so we're fixing up the house. Tomorrow morning, by the time you're watching this, I'm probably working on the kitchen and redoing the kitchen. So that's why we're getting such a good deal. He's buying all the stuff. the landlord, but we're fixing it for him and then paying him a small amount of rent. So it is nice, but so that's kind of what's been going on in my life. That's why the videos are kind of not coming out as often. As far as the Backlog Summer Challenge goes for me, I'm damn near close to being James Bond. I really haven't been having a lot of time to do a lot of gaming aside from playing Splatoon, Cave Story, a little bit of this Xbox stuff just to test it out. I played a good bit of Crash 1, a little bit of Crash 2, and I think I played the first level of Crash 3. Haven't even put Diablo in yet. I mean, I already pretty much beat the story on PC, but that's not really a story-based thing that I care about. Like, that's just a fun game to play. You can play the game over and over again. Those levels are randomly generated with the enemies, aside from boss fights, obviously. But, so that's just kind of where the channel's going. The videos, I am going to still try to get them out Wednesdays, Sundays, live stream if I can. I have all this reset back up. It's just time is just not really on my side at the moment. So please keep watching. You know, stay subscribed. The videos aren't going to stop entirely, but they are going to be, you know, kind of spread out a little bit more. Like I said, there is kind of a jackpot bundle coming for like a giveaway. Probably 350, maybe 400, somewhere in that ballpark. Maybe it might do it at 500. Might just make it like a huge fucking stack of games. Tight White actually just did a nice giveaway for his subscribers. And it was actually a guy that sent him a free game just for the fuck of it, and he actually won. So, you know, karma comes around. That guy did something good for Tight White. Tight White did something good for him. Yeah, so giveaway coming here eventually. Expect the review of this. Oh god, I feel bad about leaving this disc in here like that. I need to at least put it in the manual. It is in good shape though, right now, so it's in the manual now. But expect a review of this to come soon. And there is a port of this on the 360 as well, which I do have as well. I'll probably do the review of, so this one's called Far Cry Instincts, and then I believe the Evolution. Yeah, so there's Far Cry Instincts, which is the original disc. Then there's Evolution, which is the second version for the original Xbox. This is the disc you want to get, the Evolution one. Then there's Far Cry Instincts Predator, which is the 360 version. Obviously, it's in 720p native. And it's got a lot more features. And it's got, so this added 14 new single-player and multiplayer missions against all new enemies and tropical environments. And that one, I'd have to dig it out. I should have dug it out before I did the video. I'm constantly doing that. I need to be more prepared for my videos. But, so I'll probably do the review of the 360 one. As far as the story goes, I'm pretty sure they're exactly the same from the Instincts Evolution to the Predator one. Whereas the first one, just Far Cry Instincts, does have a few levels that were cut and then added to this one. So this is kind of like a director's cut version, I believe. It has been a few years since I've played it, but I remember, again, with my childhood best friend and his friend, playing this all the time. This has an awesome map editor. Still to this day, it's like one of the best map editors. You build your island, then you build mountains, and you put trees and just all sorts of shit. And we would make like tree forts with like bridges. You weren't supposed to be able to do it, but we figured out how to do it. And we'd have like cabins and trees and all sorts of like gasoline barrels that you could blow up, and boats and cars and quads and, you know, turrets and just all sorts of stuff you could set up around the island. Multiple islands, and it was you could make big maps. And oh god, I did kill Cloud, whatever. So you could make these big maps, and just like the 360 made it even bigger. And then you could download people's maps here, but you could like save the maps on the 360 version to your hard drive of people. And I remember playing that online. I remember playing that one online, and just, they were good games. Far Cry has really gone away from what it originally was, because this was, I want to say this was made by Crytek. I know the original PC one was definitely Crytek. I know that Ubisoft did own the Cry engine when this was out. So this is running on the Cry engine, I'm pretty sure. EA now owns Crytek and the Cry engine, which is the best looking graphical engine that ever has existed. And yeah, so just good games. But expect review, giveaways. So the Samurai Showdown will probably get in here. The Far Cry will probably get in here. There's some other just random stuff that good stuff that I will be giving away. I haven't really figured it out yet on what it's going to be. Could be some amiibos too. I've got a lot of sealed amiibos that are duplicates that I just kind of want to downsize and get rid of. So could be in a giveaway. But let me pick up Cloud here, Ned. I'm back in. So, yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on right now. I don't know if I'll be live streaming today when you're watching this or whenever you watch this. But peace out for now, guys. Till next time.
Come here, you mother... This is it, baby.